All right, how's it going, guys? This is a little bit weird. Sorry, there's supposed to be a whole, ambiance to this. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it done. It really sucks. So when we put the episodes back in, I'll go ahead and put in the new intros. Unfortunately, you'll have to watch it on the rerun. It sucks, but I mean, it's the best I can do right now. Um, so, this is the first episode of Can We Talk About? And I want to talk about certain esoteric issues that only certain people would know about. And today I want to talk about the fact that we have a new mayor in Chicago. And I've lived in the city of Chicago my entire life. So this is one of those things that it doesn't affect everybody, but it certainly affects me, and I find it very important to talk about because it affects me and a lot of people around me. And one of the things that I kept saying was there was no way we could allow Paul Vallis to take over as mayor. I think if we got Paul Vallis, then we would receive the same mayoral bullshit that we've been getting for the last for the last 10 years. Chicago deserves better. We deserve a hell of a lot better than Lori Lightfoot, definitely. I think one of the saddest things is that people had put so much faith in Lightfoot instead of Periwinkle, um, and you know Periwinkle was like the landslide victory, and instead we went with the we went with the underdog, and you know what? It bit us in the ass. So you think this might happen again, but you know what? We can't have any more people from the established order to play politics anymore. We don't have the time for that kind of shit anymore. And the fact that a lot of people just are going to keep playing the political side game. Well, Chicago has always been known to be one of the most corrupt cities. And this was well known into the 20s and 30s. Prohibition had led the mafia to run New York, New Jersey, um, Chicago, and parts of other cities. But those were the main spots, and it was due to the limited amount of protective resources that we had that allowed the mobsters to basically strong arm their way through. I'm Italian, so I can't complain about it because it benefited my people. Sorry. So the fact that when I was born, we had Mayor Daley, and Mayor Daley was the son of the original Mayor Daley, who was a well-known um, mob affiliate. He worked closely with the mafia, and it was like he was a crook. He was our crook, and most people get a misconception when they learn about the Windy City. People think that Chicago is called the Windy City because of our weather being so unpredictable. The truth is that's simply a tunnel effect because of our building structures. It's called the Windy City because, and also because we're close to the lake, but they call us the Windy City because we were filled with so much air when it came to politicians. They were so filled with hot air that they would call it the Windy City. Back then, they would say, if you're a liar, you're full of hot air. So they would call it the Windy City because it was like nothing got done without some sort of spin on it and some sort of mark and some sort of benefactor. And that's just, how politics were. And for the most part, I guess everybody was happy with it, but my people certainly weren't. And looking at my fellow Chicagoans, Chicanos, blacks, seeing us, it gets annoying, man. trying to go see your girlfriend in Andersonville, and because you're in Andersonville and you got dark skin, or you dress funny, or you stand out, your ass is gonna get fucked with. That's what's gonna happen. You're gonna get messed with. That's what's gonna happen. So I've been busted down, jacked, stole off of. I've had my shoes stolen at 10 years old because they were black and blue. So, that shit ain't new to me, man. It's all the same. And I grew up on the north side. So I don't like hearing that other bullshit that north siders don't know what it's like to be on the south. Bro, it's Chicago. It's all the same shit. So the only difference is y'all are afraid of the fucking name streets, and we get confused when y'all give us the number streets. All right, it's a total fucking opposite thing here. I noticed when you talk to someone that's from like the straight South Side, and you talk about 18th Street and stuff like that, they're gonna start laughing because you'll bring up um, shit. Like they'll be like, "Man, you live over on Washington Street or some crazy ass name like that, like Buford Street or some shit." It's like, motherfucker. Well, at least I don't live on fucking 88th and 45, whatever the fuck your crazy numbers are. And truth is, we could have made it a simple grid system the same way New York did, but we got to be different, man. So, Mayor Daley was again another crook that was our crook. But then Mayor Daley's wife got sick. Mayor Daley's wife got sick at the same time that he was ducking on his way out. He had already served his 2 terms. You can't get any more time. Now, because he had already served his terms and he was ready for retirement, he sure as hell left with his pockets full. Now, what he did is what some people got used to that I personally will never get used to. Call me old fashioned, but I like to see meters that I put a quarter in and it gives me an hour. I don't like to need a credit card and need to have a debit card with some cash on it just so I can park my damn car. That bothers me. The fact that they don't just take cash at certain machines is ridiculous. I hate the uh, meter systems, and that was one way that he managed to um, basically allow to be monopolized, and then we got less funding, and because it had to work with some other company that is out of state, so we lose a lot of the profit. Which, why should another state get the profit from our parking? Then he gave up the CTA, the Chicago Transit Authority, which is still around, but I mean, he basically gave all the power to Ventra, which is another company based out of LA. And again, why do we need LA to service our fucking transportation? We've been doing this on our own for a very damn long time, okay? We know how to take the bus. We don't need y'all help. We don't want y'all help. We can do this on our own. We used to have paper transfers. We used to be able to fucking go somewhere for $2 and it would get me a transfer. I can get 3 places with $2. There's so much corruption that went on with Mayor Daley on his way out. It was just unbearable. So in comes Barack's boy. Now, Barack is president. Barack is our boy. He comes from our home. He may have been born in Hawaii, but he was made in Chicago. So Barack was our man, and this is his boy, so we're like, all right, we'll trust your boy, you know? And we did. We trusted his boy. Do you do a good job? That's for debate. I say no, you say yes. Who gives a shit? In the end, it's a politician, so really, who cares? Now, uh, Ron made some very bad decisions. Okay, um, this whole Divvy program, I think, is stupid on its own, and it doesn't. Divvy is a system where we have these bikes, and these bikes have GPS monitoring and all these stupid technology that a bike doesn't need. And then the bike can shut down because it's only a rental. So once you run out of time on it, and you're not at a transfer, some sort of power transfer unit, which are in different parts of the city, and let's say you don't make it in time, well, the body of the bike locks up. The tires lock up. So now you got this heavy 20-pound bike. What are you supposed to do? You're not. They ain't gonna fucking drag it all the way back. It's like a shopping cart that turns that pops the little yellow lock on there when you didn't even cross the damn line yet. Or it's like going to Aldi and getting any damn cart. If you ever been to an Aldi, good luck finding a cart that's got all four working wheels. Good fucking luck, because most of the time I gotta lift the some bitch so that way it doesn't bother me. Otherwise, it makes that weird squeaky thing. I can't stand Aldi's. But anyway, uh, after that, Rom managed to piss me off to the point where I saw him twice. I saw him twice on the train, and I gave him the finger when we got to about Southport, and then both of our trains start, or not Southport. We hit Belmont, and I'm on the red, he's on the brown. So he turns around, our trains are across each other. He sees and looks over at me. I wave to get his attention. He starts to wave, and then I give him the finger. And his bodyguard, this big bald guy, just busts out laughing. And so after that, we're still waiting for everybody to get on. So I waited a little while and I shouted, Rom. And he turns around again, and I shove the fingers back at him. Now we move, and we're over at Fullerton. And I'm screaming his name over and over because this is the last time we're going to see each other. Because once Fullerton ends, the red goes down, the brown goes up. So we're going down to the subway. And so before I can get that opportunity, I managed to get Rom's attention one more sweet time. And I managed to moon the son of a bitch. It was beautiful. And I had never seen a bodyguard laugh so hard. That big ass night court looking motherfucker was hilarious. He was in hysterics. All right. So then Rom is gone. Now we move on to Lori Lightfoot. Now Lori Lightfoot. Lori Lightfoot was nothing really special. Okay, she wasn't really special. She wasn't really cool. She was a lesbo, which is cool. So whatever. Periwinkle just didn't look right. Something about Periwinkle we weren't feeling. And I think just the majority of us, we just wasn't feeling her. And we couldn't say what it was, but it just, I don't know, there was something too white about her that none of us trusted. And I know that sounds racist, but when I say white, I mean like scheming white, okay? It's like how Chris Rock put it, you got your Mexicans, and then you got your paisas, and then you got your Italians, and then you got your fucking Guidos. It's like that for every race. So don't act like you white people don't have that, okay? Um. Anyway, so Lori Lightfoot just goes on a fucking, I don't know, a 4 year, I don't know what I'm doing tour where she basically shrugs at us. And she reminds me of, um, what's her name from the Suicide Squad, the main boss. Her name escapes me right now. She was in The Woman King, and she thinks she's more important than she really is. She's just an actress, but she thinks she's a damn activist just because she's in movies. This is another thing that pisses me off. Y'all need to stop doing that. Stop pretending like just because you're in a movie that you're the one making the message. All right, you just happen to agree with the message the movie was already gonna say. Anyway, now Lori is gone, and on her way out, we needed to find a new hero. Dun, 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 dun. And we needed somebody good. Dun, 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 dun. What do we get? Because this is a democratic city. We don't handle no Republicans, man. We don't deal with that schism. So then what happens? Dun, 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 dun. Paul Vallis. Paul Vallis was a huge member of the Chicago public school system. He was responsible for huge, idiotic ideas like the No Child Left Behind Act. He was a proponent for that. He was a proponent for so much of the Bush administration. I wanted to choke this guy because, you know, it was ridiculous. And he, I honestly think this is where we started getting to the worst part about our education system. Because, I mean, we're not going around burning books. We're not like those weird rednecks out in the South burning books. We don't do that here. And somebody catches you burning a book, somebody's going to be like, hey, is that your book? Better not be my book. Better pay for that motherfucking book. Anyway, don't burn books, man. You gotta clean that shit up. Anyway, so yeah, we got to remember Paul Vallis as a guy that constantly made promises that he never once intended to keep. Now, he would come over to my school, which was a magnet academy. We were the second best school in Illinois at one point. We were some of the smartest kids, and we got the best test scores, and some of the best test scores. And you know, we were doing trigonometry in eighth grade. We did matrices, in seventh grade. And then when I got to high school, freshman year's algebra was all seventh grade math for me. So I would say we had a huge head leg up, but we had to do all of these things in the scalding heat because he never once got us an air conditioner. He told us that with the next grant that our school would receive, we would soon have a cafeteria along with a new gymnasium because ours was quite small and it's still the same size to this day. Um, we were promised things that were based on merit. We were promised things based on our accomplishments, and we were proud to accomplish them. But when you get slapped in the face over and over again, where you are accomplishing something not just for yourself, but because you're representing your school and it's going to do good for your school. But when you know that it's not going to do a damn thing, you stop caring as much. And we started noticing, we had these flags that hung up. We had these, you know, these trophies in the trophy room, and all of them were for academics. So it's like, we really don't have any sports here. And maybe it's because we're more focused on the academics, but I thought, as a public school that's supposed to be at least a bit prestigious, we should have some sort of, I don't know, some sort of basketball team or something. I don't know. Instead, we got nothing. We never had a team. We didn't even have a logo. We didn't have a panther or even a stupid thunderbolt, whatever the hell that is. And instead, we ended up getting a graphic that was it was a bad drawing of a bunch of kids holding hands around the world. What is that? Like, what do we even call that? The citizens? I don't know. And now, yeah, you got the Wildcats versus the Citizens. Not a great name, dude. Like the Defenseless Children. Yeah, that's great. That's a great name. Doesn't sound very tough. So this guy could not win, and I made it a very big deal to let people know that this guy could not win. This guy is terrible for our country, or not for our country, but for our city, and to completely just not trust this guy because every time we trusted him, we only got more and more nothing. All right. So, congratulations to Brian Johnson, Brandon Johnson. I'm sorry. Congratulations to Brandon Johnson. I really, really hope that he can show us. There's not much you can do in your first term. There's not much change you can really make too early on, but this is the start. The whole point is to continue to push this guy forward no matter how long it takes. We push him and push him until he is ready to take the Oval Office. That we've done it with Obama. We got to start paying attention. I mean, it's not like Obama was ever mayor, but this might be our way. And when I look at guys like Frost and Johnson and Alexandria Cortez or Katie Porter, you know, Sanders is not going to live forever. And we definitely need as much truth, honesty, and reality as possible from not just our leaders, but our peers that we turn into leaders. All right. And that's really and that's really all I have to say about that. So, when you check this out later, I will have it with its actual intro. All right. So, this has been the first episode of Can We Talk About the New Mayor of Chicago? So, I guess I should have just called it Can We Talk About Brandon Johnson? And the answer is yes, we can. And yes, we can. And when it comes to Paul Vallis, no, you can't. Go away. Stop bothering us. Like you bothered us enough in the 90s. Get the fuck out. All right. All right. So, yeah, that is the end of the first episode. Thanks for checking it out. If you do, let me know what you think about it. And let me know what topics that you might want me to get into because I'm going to start talking about Breaking Bad and just single topics. All right. No more letting my brain flood. All right. So, love you. Stay safe. Stay free. See you on the other side. Stay safe. Stay free. Stay cheesy, my friend.